actions of moral value and compassion. This administration is willing to put its own citizens in the inhuman affliction of stripping them away from their parents and leaving them to fend for themselves. Imagine living in a country where you have been able to work, study, and create a life for you and your family, but is suddenly taken away because you are no longer considered good enough to live here. This is the reality of the 417,000 TPS holders. The consequences of this action is great. The country would lose entrepreneurs, labor workers, and students with new and innovative ideas. They will also have approximately 280,000 children that will. Too many people have put in time and effort and are raising children that are doing amazing things and with bright futures ahead of them. But it is unfair and it angers me that this will be taken away because this administration has ignored the contribution that TPS holders have brought to this country. So that's why I ask Congress to please come together, unite, put themselves on all these TPS holders and their children. And imagine having to lose your family, having to lose all the life that you created here, and having to just be sent away because of one administration. So please, Congress, I ask you to unite and come to a solution for DACA and TPS recipients. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ariana. And as Ariana mentioned, it's over 250,000 children in the same situation. They have the right to keep their families together. They have the right to pursue the American dream as well. And this is just one of the many stories that Ariana has highlighted, including the mental health and the trauma the families are living every single day since the announcement of the cancellation. Next, we're gonna bring to the podium to Larissa Dugan Cuadra. She's seeing regarding the impacts of the cancellation of TPS, DACA, and DED in the Bay Area. Larissa.
Buenos días, good morning. Aquí estamos. Y no nos vamos. Bueno, so we're very happy to come together. We have allies and partners from communities across the United States. We're going to be here for 2 days, walking the halls, demanding that the Senate take action to protect U.S.-born children and their families. We're here on behalf of TPS beneficiaries, of DACA and DED beneficiaries. As we just heard in our briefing, the projected consequences of this cancellation are grave. Besides economic, besides workforce, we're talking about families. This is a moral issue. And we say that he or she who wears the crown bears a heavy weight. We elect our officials to protect all children and all people living and working in this country. It is their obligation, it is their duty, and we're here to demand that they act now. We are tired of waiting. We're tired of our children losing sleep at night because they're fearful of what's going to happen to their families. This is cruel, it is unjust, and it is unnecessary. So we call the Senate to take action. We also want to highlight that despite the lawsuits that are currently protecting this population from having their work permits canceled today, particularly for the Salvadoreños, the consequences of this cancellation are already being felt in our communities. Not just from the psychological trauma, but also from a day-to-day basis. People's work permits, their driver's license are being expired, and even though there was an automatic extension, many workers in many states are not honoring this extension. This is resulting in unnecessary undue harm to hardworking individuals who are highly vetted. I cannot imagine a population in the United States that is more vetted than the Dreamers, than the TPSers and the DED holders. Every 18 months, in order to qualify for the program, they must have all kinds of things happen, screenings, fingerprint, all that happen to show that they're honest, hardworking individuals. We not only contribute financially to this country, but we contribute to the social, economic, civic, and cultural fabric of this nation. Stop ripping our communities apart. Senate, we call on you to act now.
Thank you, Larissa. And in your package, you will see further information regarding how many countries have been impacted with the cancellation of TPS. And we are not speaking only of Central American countries. We also have Haitian TPS holders We have African countries. We have Nepal. Syria is also waiting on a determination of the administration, but we already know that Sudan has been canceled, Haiti, and both are part of what we know of the Ramos versus Nielsen lawsuit. And now we're going to call to Marlene Bastien. She is the Executive Director of Family Network Action Movement. And she's going to speak on behalf of the realities impacting Haitian TPS holders.
Good morning. Bonjour. I'm the Executive Director of Family Action Network Movement, as Yanira indicated. FANM is also a member of Alianza Americas, BAJI, National TPS Coalition, Florida Immigrant Coalition, and several other coalitions. And then also we want to thank CARECEN for inviting us today. And we're also members of different national coalitions advocating for permanent solution of TPS for the 300,000 TPS recipients living in the U.S. Who are the TPS recipients? These are not aliens from a different planet. These are not criminals, because each time TPS has to be redesignated, the TPS recipients have to go through a very harsh and serious vetting process. They are not criminals. They are doctors. They are nurses. They are organizers. They are restaurant workers. They are our teachers working very hard, days in and days out, and contributing to the social, economic, and political fabric of our nation. Every other week at FANM, we have community meetings where we hear firsthand about the pain and the high level of anxiety that our TPS recipients have been thrown into after TPS was terminated. This is no life, guys. We hear about the parents who come to the meeting every other week asking us, Marlene, what do we do with our children? What do we do with our businesses? What do we do with our homes? They are employers, they are also employees. They contribute to the economy of this nation. So we are here today to amplify the voices of the 300,000 TPS recipients, but most importantly, the voices of the 275,000 to 500,000 US-born children in this country. I've been organizing in Florida since 1981. And my friends, I've yet to meet a mother, I've yet to meet a father who would be willing to be deported to nations in turmoil without their children. So therefore, if we do not have a permanent solution to TPS, we may indeed witness the most mass deportation of deportation of children to nations in turmoil, which existing conditions were created by the very policies of the U.S. We have a long history of establishing dictatorships in our nations, such as Haiti today. Haiti is going through a very harsh reality. First, an earthquake which killed over 250,000. An imported cholera epidemic, which killed 10,000 and left 1.2 million contaminated, and then subsequent natural disasters. Guys, Haiti is not able to absorb 58,000 TPS recipients, just like El Salvador, Honduras, Nepal, Sudan, and other countries that have TPS. I'm going to end by saying, at FANM we realize, and we want to highlight the impact of the termination of TPS on the children. As a licensed clinical social worker, specialized in working with children and families, I really hear the pain and the anxiety in the voices of the children when they come to our meeting. The loss of sleep, the waking up every day wanting to know if their parents will be will be here the next day. This decision may be causing irreparable harm to our children, and this cannot be accepted. That is why we created Children for Family Reunification, which is a national campaign to highlight the plight of the children. And we also created the campaign, Be My Voice, Be My Vote. We are TPS recipients, we cannot vote. However, we want you to be my voice and be my vote. Guys, we want to ask for you, the U.S. Senate, to act now, because there is no time. The time is now for the U.S. Senate to introduce a comparable bill to the Dream and Promise Act in the U.S. Senate. The time is now, because tomorrow, my dear friends, tomorrow, there will be no time. We are here because you were there, like my dear friend from Baji said earlier. Non, ici, là, aux États-Unis, parce que vous êtes là, nous, Estamos aquí porque fueron allá en nuestros países. In nuestros países. We need a permanent solution now, not the next day, not the next month, not the next year. We want it now because we deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlene. Thank you very much. We always appreciate the leadership of FAM. It's always with us. As Marlene mentioned, this issue also is impacting several communities, including TPS holders who own their own businesses. We know that our TPS holders that they employ U.S. citizens, that they are a powerful source for local economies. When we talk about stronger economies, we are not speaking only about corporations. We are also speaking about small business, making local communities stronger. And today we're going to hear about Julio Humberto Mejia, who is a TPS holder from El Salvador. And he migrated to the United States in 1998, and he will be sharing about not just the struggles that he went through since 1998, but also the many contributions, but how these contributions are now in uncertainty because of the cancellation of TPS. Julio.
Good morning, everyone. This morning, I want to say thanks God for the opportunity to share with you my personal story. My name is Julio Mejia. I'm a general contractor, Oakland, California. I came into the United States in 1998, and opportunity is the word I want to use today, because that is that I had in 2001 when this country granted to temporary protected status to my country, El Salvador. This opportunity allowed me to legally work and with determination and sacrifice I successfully established J.H. Mejia Construction and Remodeling LLC. This has given me opportunity to not only employ 12 people, the opportunity also provide employment through subcontractor companies. Recently my local Home Depot in Oakland recognized my company as one of their top 2 clients. Very proud of this, because it proves that my business success not only provides for my family but also benefit my local community. This past year our gross income was about $1.5 million. A big part of this success is my family, my wife Connie, also a TPS beneficiary, my daughter Vanessa, a hardworking and determined woman, the general manager at our company and also a dreamer, and my 2 sons who born in this country, Joe and Joshua. Joe, he is very active in the school, play football for a school team as well in academic too. And Joshua, very intelligent and curious, 10 years old. We as a TPS beneficiary want to continue to be part of this nation. The nation that gives us the opportunity to succeed professionally and personally. My great wish is to have the opportunity to be able to obtain a permanent status, to first and foremost keep my family together, and second, keep giving back to this nation for all the blessing that it has given to us. We don't here for make a noisy. We are here for a solution, and that one is urgent for, because when I think of my family, that's the principal point. But we have a lot, generated a lot business in this country, and we have employees, we have a subcontractor. We got a lot of connection, with the cities like Berkeley. We're working a lot in the city of Berkeley. building, retrofit, doing a lot of work, for that city, and Oakland too, San Francisco. We got a remodel, complete units, and we invest a lot of money for that, and I think so. This is time for, we don't live like worry. We have to live free, and this time we need solution today, not tomorrow. God bless you.
Thank you, Julio. Thank you, Julio. And today we are not only speaking on behalf of the issues that we TPS holders are facing. We would like also to acknowledge that the cancellation and the decisions of the administration are also impacting DACA recipients, and on that end we would like to bring to the podium a very accomplished young leader who in a short time he has accomplished so much. He's a researcher, an activist, and a very hard-working student at the University of Texas. Please welcome Samuel Cervantes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes. My name is Samuel Cervantes. I'm a research associate at Forward.us, an organization that works on immigration and criminal justice. And I'm also a proud DACA recipient. The United States has been my home for my whole life. It is where I've learned the alphabet in kindergarten. It is where I learned how to play baseball. Not that great. It is where I proudly stood for the Pledge of Allegiance every single day, and we're across the stage at my high school and college graduation. And thanks to DACA and DACA only, I work hard every single day. Despite my passion, what I could achieve was bounded by my undocumented status. Without truly feeling at home in the only country I've ever known, constantly haunted by the reality of being deported or lacking work authorization, I doubted what I could achieve. When DACA was announced, I knew I could reject doubt. I knew I could reject all the misconceptions that I had, and I could finally apply my passion towards attending college and helping my community. And that is the story of 700,000 other DACA recipients across the country. DACA has proven that when people are allowed to work and completely engage and exert the potential, we can thrive as a society. And the American public overwhelmingly agrees. Simply put, DACA works. President Trump ended the DACA program, along with TPS, almost 2 years ago. And the Supreme Court now will decide on the livelihood of thousands and thousands of Americans. And Americans, what we are. In November, the court will begin to listen to oral arguments. While we may not know the outcome of what the Supreme Court may decide, we know one thing and one thing for sure. The Supreme Court should not do President Trump's dirty job and continue assaults on immigrant communities. The onus continues to be on Congress to legislate and finally pass a permanent solution for Dreamers, TPS holders, and DED holders. It is time for the Senate to take up and finally pass the Dream and Promise Act. The termination of DACA and TPS means that people who depend on their jobs to survive will no longer be able to support themselves and their families, including U.S. citizen children. This means homes will be lost, jobs will be left vacant, children will not attend school, and vital community members will be uprooted from places they hold deeply in their heart. We must remain hopeful. We must keep our head high and continue fighting like people have done so for many years before we have. And DACA recipients, if you can, you must renew now. And if you're unsure how to do it, go to informedimmigrant.com. And if you may be worried about paying for your DACA application, go to GoFundMe/DACA, and there are many ways of fundraising for your DACA application. But by all means, you should renew if you have the opportunity. Thank you so much for having me today, and we will pass the Dream and Promise Act. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you very much. And we've been basically pointing that we are here because the U.S. was first in our country. So we have to be mindful of the root causes of migration, that how policies are connected to the reason why we migrate, why we are so many countries here, from Haiti, from different countries, from Africa, from Central America. And our next speaker we're very honored to welcome a delegation from Central America. We have several leaders coming from Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico. They are joining us for a week of action where we're going to be addressing both issues, not just a solution for TPS, but also addressing that we need to find also common sense. We need to find policies that will find a solution to the realities in Central America, not just to the violence, the corruption, the gender violence, and all the issues that continue to push migrants outside of our homeland. Next, we're going to have Juan Jose Hurtado. He is part of the POC-NOC Association from Guatemala, and call Juan Jose to the podium.
Hello everyone. My native language is Spanish, so if I need translation, Daniela will be helping me. Well, first of all, I want to repeat, I speak on behalf of a delegation of organizations coming from Mexico, El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala. And we're here to do advocacy on the rights of migrant children. Nevertheless, we're here also to say we stand with you for the TPS. We are convinced we have to work together from the countries of origin and the countries that have given protection to the migrants. So we want to say we are with you. If the TPS beneficiaries political crisis and poverty, and it's not just economic to receive all the people. And if the people came to the because people must be protected. If they came looking for protection, they must not be returned to the countries they have fled from. Otherwise, even they can protection policies, but
Immigration.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to be standing here side by side with our Central American Haitian Bridge Alliance, ACT, UndocuBlack, and Haitian Women for Haitian Refugees. TPS allowed people to come out of the shadows. It allowed people that had been in this country for decades, just toiling away at under-the-table jobs, working long hours and exploitative wages, to come out of the shadows and actually live a full life, and come to own business. Some of the most very important cities here in the United States, New York. to stand by and let Trump's decision go through is to aid and abet in white supremacy. So supporting H.R. 6, supporting the American Dream of Promise Act is standing up to white supremacy. It's fighting against white supremacy. So do your part. Allies, please support this plan. Talk to your Congress members to fight against white supremacy and support H.R. 6. Had U.S. policy adversely affected black and brown communities and countries throughout Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East, and parts of Asia. Many of us that are here now are here because of those policies, as many have stated before. Like stated before, we are here because you were there. So, a policy. People need a permanent solution. People have already embedded themselves here in this country, have become a fabric of this country, part of the fabric of this country. So to deny them a chance to continue their lives and to raise future generations here is only perpetuating a legacy of white supremacy. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert. And to bring to an end the press conference, we're going to call very strong partners that we have had for organizing this event, including Gustavo Torres, the Executive Director of CASA, yes. Jaime Contreras, Vice President of 32BJ, and also Abel Núñez, who is our Vice President for the Alianza Americas board members and is the Executive Director of CARECEN of Washington, D.C.
Buenas tardes. No se escucha. Buenas tardes. ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede. ¿Se puede? Sí, se puede. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Aquí estamos. Y no nos vamos. Y no nos echan. Aquí estamos. Y no nos vamos. Y no nos echan. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much. My friends right over here, we just want to say that we are going to fight for DACA, TPS, and DED, and we are going to win. Yes. Les digo que estamos luchando por el DACA, DED y el TPS, y les quiero decir que vamos a ganar. Yes. Vamos a trabajar juntos, todas las organizaciones comunitarias, con toda nuestra comunidad, para lograr que el Senado y la Cámara de Representantes finalmente resuelvan esta crisis que ellos mismos han creado. So again, we are going to work with the Senate, with the Congress to make sure that we pass a final legislation to correct the crisis that they themselves create. So again, thank you so much. Muchísimas gracias. No, gracias. Aquí en nombre de CARECEN Washington, Alianza Américas, estamos aquí. Washington no solo es la casa del Capitolio, pero es la casa por la población de salvadoreños segunda más grande en la nación, y aquí somos mayoría. Por eso vamos a luchar. Esto nos impacta y aquí nos vamos a quedar. Pero necesitamos el apoyo de todos ustedes que se unan a esta causa y aseguremos de que juntos logremos la victoria. ¿Estamos listos? Yes. All right, we are here. This is not just Congress's home, but this is also home to the second largest Salvadorian community in the U.S. And we are majority here, and we are not going anywhere. And we're going to continue to fight, but we need all of you, and together we will reach our victory. So let's keep fighting on. ¡Sí se puede! ¡Sí se puede! We nunca más! That's right. ¡Se puede! ¡Se puede! ¡Se puede! Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Jaime Contreras, vicepresidente de la 32BJ de SEIU, dirigente de Washington, Maryland y Virginia, donde tenemos más de 40,000 tepecianos trabajando fuerte, contribuyendo a la economía todos los días en este país. My name is Jaime Contreras, Vice President of SEIU 32BJ. We have workers in this area who have TPS, over 20,000 workers in this area are tepecianos who work and contribute to the economy every day. Now, let me say a little bit why I'm here.
I am someone who came here undocumented in 1988 at the age of 13 from El Salvador during the bloody civil war. Now, the people coming in nowadays are no different than me. They're fleeing poverty. They're fleeing violence. That's why I came here. So I asked this president, because I'm also a U.S. military veteran. So when he says to me and to my people that we're criminals, that we're rapists, well, guess what? I'm a veteran. What are you? You're nothing but a bigot who has created the worst anti-immigrant climate in this country. You have crazy people going around shooting immigrants in this country, like it happened at the Walmart, because of the hate and the anti-immigrant climate that you have created. So I am insulted as a veteran. I am angry, but I'm going to use my anger to organize our community to say enough is enough. Are you with me? Se puede! Se puede! Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And we're now ready to take the halls in Congress. We're ready to run visits. So let's go get some lunch and ready for the visits.